Hey, so thank you for joining me, and we are bringing on the other channels as well. Perfect. All right. So we are all here together today. And the big question is this week, a lot of questions that I got from you guys is where do you start? When you are getting into real estate or you're coming back into real estate, where do you start? And that is coupled with what do you not waste your money on and what do you spend your money on? So, where do you start? Where do you put your money? And how do you not waste your money? Because many people have their hand out and they have the one thing that is going to make you successful, and it's only going to cost you one sale. Well, you need that one sale to live because you already know getting your license is expensive. By the time you pay for the class, the background check, the fingerprints, the state application, your testing fee, then you have to join the board. Then you have to get your e-key access, maybe some business cards signed. Like all you are is pouring money out and you don't have any money coming in. So, where are you going to spend that money? And so that was one of the first questions I've got. And that is why I made this video is specifically for you so that hopefully you don't make the same mistakes. When I first started, there was no one to tell me where to start. Everyone had ideas. The brokerage said, get business cards, send out letters, send out postcards. Well, what letters? What postcards? To who? Who was going to create this? Well, of course, their marketing department created it. Well, there was a cost for that. And I didn't know what to do. That was a huge mistake because the marketing department, having never done sales, had an idea of like send out a recipe card. Listen, honestly, buyers and sellers are not going to use you because you send out the perfect recipe card, especially today where people can get all of whatever they want online. They don't need your recipe card in the mail. And I've never heard of an agent say, yes, this person came to me because they loved the recipe card I sent them. So I invested a lot of money between my business cards and my signs, and then the ad creation for the postcards that went out, plus the cost of the postcards, just nothing but a waste of time. So, how do you not make that mistake? I'm going to break it down for you on things that I would do differently if I were starting over and where I would invest. And I do say invest my money starting over and where I would spend it and where I absolutely would not waste it by somebody telling me that this is your quick get rich scheme, because that's exactly what it is. It's just a quick get rich scheme. They're going to make the money. So we always joke that the person who's making the most money is the company that is selling products to us, the real estate agent, because we want to buy whatever is new. Many agents want to buy the flashy new shiny object, and they also want to uh, get something where they don't have to work. And what they don't realize is you have to work. If everybody could buy the get rich scheme, there would be nobody leaving the business. So when you've got like 80% of the people failing in real estate, it's because those don't work unless you work. So I am curious. Thank you guys for those of you that are on here. It's so good to get to see you. But I would love to know, as a new agent, where did you spend your time and where did you spend your money? Did you feel that that was worth it? So, and I'd also like to know, go ahead and drop in the comments. If you had $500 to start over today, where would you spend your 500 bucks? So, one of the first questions is, and I said, we're going to start with investing. Where is one of the right places for you to invest your money? That would be on your education. Let's see here. Your education, your training, and your market knowledge. If you will not invest in yourself, if you will not take a free class, and I mean invest in yourself, like a lot of the things that you can learn are literally online for free. You can Google it, you can YouTube it. There is some sort of template that already exists. You can go to any social media and they'll have some tips in there that you don't even have to pay for. We'll say, download my free program. If you will not invest a few hours a day or several hours a week into growing your own education and training and knowledge, then why would anybody else invest in you? if you are not taking care of yourself, if you're not willing to grow, if you're not putting in the time, if all you've got are excuses as I'm too busy, I don't know where to start, nobody is wanting to hire that agent. Because if you can't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of them? I mean, we're all self motivated to take care of ourselves first, and we've got that survival instinct. But if we won't, why would we work harder for someone else's money? And that was a very big mistake that I made in investing in agents. I made the mistake of saying, you know what, I really want this for them. They want this for themselves. I love what they're telling me. I want to be here. I want to help them. I want to get them to the next level. I want their lives to be improved. Did you hear me? I want. It was always me wanting something for them. And yeah, they said, I'd love to do this, but they didn't want it as much as me. And so I spent the money, I invested into them. And then I learned very, very quickly, since it wasn't their money, it didn't hurt them out of their pocket. They didn't give anything up by the monies I put out, then the work wasn't done. And they ended up leaving because they were embarrassed. They couldn't pay me back. Not that I asked for the money, but that was always there, that tension of I trusted them and I gave up my own household and things I needed or wanted there to support them, and then they didn't show up. So the relationships always ended. And that's when I learned very quickly, no one can want for you more than you want yourself. And that is where if you will not invest into yourself, no one else is going to invest in you either, especially not money. So that comes down to your training and your mentorship. And that does go for mentorship. The best thing that can happen to you for free is that a seasoned, experienced, successful agent will see the true talent and potential in you and then say, you know what? I see that you've got what it takes. I will take you under my wing and I will show you the ropes. Now, those people do not pick up a lot of agents. They don't see 10 people walking in the door and say, oh, you know what? Here's 10 new pieces of fresh meat. I'm going to work with all of them. No, they only have so much time and they are looking around. And if they feel like that one is going to be a shining star, I can see it right there. And I'm willing to spend some time with them because if I can help them be successful, they will help me along the way. Versus, oh, here he is coming in again late. She didn't show up. Oh, that one's always on their phone. So you want to get mentorship from somebody who has a proven success record in the area you want to specialize in. And what do I mean by that? If you want to do vacant land sales, then go to the vacant land sale person, not the condo person. If you want to go to commercial, go to commercial. If you want to do communities versus waterfront homes, find the person that is already in the market that you want to be in and go to them and show them, not just talk, show them that you are ready to learn and that they can count on you and depend on you, and that by them investing their time and energy into you, you will give them that back in the business by freeing them up to do other things. I have had some amazing agents that I've worked with that have gone on to be just rock stars, and they are absolutely wonderful. And it was such a pleasure to work with them because they did enrich my life, and I was happy to see that their success. I did not waste my time, and it was just great all the way around. But they worked hard. They hustled. Every time I called, they were like, yes, what can I do? Versus the person who said, hey, can we go to lunch? And then I'm sitting there and they don't even show up. And they're like, oh, yeah, I forgot something showed up that came up. And I'm like thinking, my time's important. So invest in yourself, find a mentor that's already in the market doing exactly what you want to do, ask them, and then prove to them that you can work with them and make their lives better. And you can do that hopefully for free. You shouldn't have to spend any money on there. So that was one of the first things that I would suggest. That was a great question. And then the affordable free resources, they're everywhere. You can go anywhere. Like I said, YouTube, social media, Google, Instagram, there is somebody promoting a free product. Download my free guide, download my free instructions, get this free list. Ultimately, they want to sell you something and they want your email address. But I sign up for all kinds of free stuff. I read it. If I like it, I'll save it. And when I don't need it anymore, I'll just delete it. But I get as much free content as I possibly can, and I test it. And I go, okay, well, what what in this will work for me and what in this can I make work for me if I do it a little bit differently. Or I found out I don't like it. I downloaded a free calling guide, like cold calling guide, and I tried it. And it's not that the guide was wrong, it's that I don't like cold calling. So the guide is great. And a lot of people are very successful in cold calling. It's just not my thing. And so I did learn something. My education was I'm not built for this. I can't do this long term. If I needed to do it to survive for a very short period of time, I can do that. But this is not my long term jam. I don't want to do that. So education and skills is the very first place I would invest my time and money before anything else. Next question is the second place I would put that. You know what? I would put that on my CRM. Now, you may be saying to yourself, well, I can't afford a CRM. That's totally fine. You don't need to. You can use one for free. You know what works as a great CRM? This piece of paper. Just starting with a piece of paper and writing it down. Honestly, come on, you got like no leads when you start. So how hard can it be? And then you will build it out because you don't know what you don't know. And CRMs is one of the first places that I did waste money, even though I'm saying you should invest into a CRM. I wasted money in a CRM because I signed up for a product that had a year commitment and I didn't even know if I would like it. I didn't know what I needed to know if this product could do that for me. What I should have done was see if there was a free trial. If there wasn't a free trial and I really wanted to do it, I should have seen if there was a way to get out after a certain expense, or I should have gone online and looked at YouTube and watched people doing training courses on there to see if it would have fit my need. I could have gone into any chat groups that were real estate agents and say, is anybody using this CRM? What do you think about it? But I didn't. Instead, I signed up for the first shiny object CRM that my broker said, you should do this. And I believed him and I signed up for it. It was way too much for me. It was so crazy powerful that I was overwhelmed because I had 2 names on my database and I didn't even know what to do with them. So having this crazy Mac Daddy CRM that could do a million things was so much time out of my day trying to learn it for things I wasn't even using. So the simplicity of an Excel spreadsheet is where I ended up going. I got an Excel spreadsheet. By using it, I started finding out what pieces of information were important to me and what I would need in my CRM in the future. Like, what capabilities do I need for it to have? I wanted it to be able to do a newsletter for me. I wanted to create tags so I'd know if I had a buyer or a seller and timelines. And I needed just a very, very simple CRM when I first started. And as my education and training grew, my needs for the CRM grew. So I think I'm on CRM number 6 right now. Listen, you don't want to change CRMs that often. By the time you get to that point, it is such a burden to change CRMs and it's expensive that do your research and just grow with it if you can and change only if you have to. But in the meantime, for free, piece of paper or an Excel spreadsheet. Those are going to work just fine. And that is going to allow you to keep track of your clients so that if you are looking at this piece of paper, you can just be like, hey, who do I need to call today? Who do I need to follow up on? What am I working on? And you might do a different page and say, like, this is a seller page. And then this might be the buyer page. And then this is like in 6-month page, like tap it, whatever you want it to be, just so that you can look through there. Same thing with your Excel spreadsheet. If you want an Excel spreadsheet template, I'll be more than happy to send you one. Just reach out to me, either DM me or comment below and give me your information and I will send you a free spreadsheet that I actually still use today before they go into my CRM, just so I can kind of have an idea of where I'm at and what I'm doing with people. So that would be the second thing that I want. Oh, and that does bring me into the email list. When you're using your CRM, you want to have an idea of how you're going to set them up. Are you just going to take all the names and just dump it in there? I did. And then it was very difficult to know, is this a buyer? Is this a seller? Is this a buyer and a seller? Are they moving into the state? Are they moving out of the state? Am I referring this out? What timeline are they looking at? What kind of loan product are they looking at? What price range are they looking at? And so I did not have any of that information in there. And having it set up so that you can easily do a search or filter to know, like, where are the people that you're looking for? And then you can make an email list of them and you can send something out to them. Never send garbage. Nobody needs, here's the new listings, because they all have access to the internet. They can get the new listings. They don't need you sending it to them, and they don't need another recipe. But they would need something of value, and that value could be, maintenance tips for this quarter. Like, here are the 10 things you need to do in the fall for your house to maintain it, something like that. Or tips on, this would be kind of different. Like, it's not really real estate, but if you are the person who knows where all the restaurants are, or all the groomers, or when all the home football games are, whatever it is, and that's something of value that people would want to know, then they would probably want to get your email and open it up. And so if you're going to email something of value. Don't email just to email, because you're going to end up getting on the spam list, or they're just going to end up opting out. Ooh, I like this question. Oh, this one's good, because I think this is a huge mistake that agents make all the time and still do. Yes, branding. Agents, as soon as they get licensed, the first thing they need is they need to have professional branding. They are going to go and get the professional headshots. They're going to get the video of them like walking gracefully down the road, hair is blowing. Nobody cares, all right? Nobody cares about that. If you're not bringing value to them, they don't care about your headshot. They don't care about you unless they know that you have something that they need. So your colors, your logo, your font, nobody cares. Now, I'm not saying just throw up trash. Don't do that. But I see agents spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on this branding that they are going to end up hating a month, 2 months, a year later. And then if you change brokerages, guess what? You're rebranding all over again. You are the brand, not the brokerage. Okay. They have their own brand. So if you're branding and everything is like, I just joined this company and these are my colors, and then 6 months later you join a different company, your colors change again, you are the brand. And again, I've never heard of a buyer or a seller say, you know what, I went with Susie because she had the Times Roman numeral font on her business cards. No, that didn't happen. So nobody's hiring you because your corporate brand colors are yellow and black or red and green. Nobody. So don't worry about your brand as far as the colors, the font, the size. Your brand is you, what you are bringing to the table. Your brand is how you show up on social media. Are you the drunk person that shows up every day on social media? Or are you the runner? Are you the dog person? Do you have like a list of your favorite restaurants that week? Like, that is your brand. And if, let's say you're the dog person, because I'm a dog person. If you're the dog person and people are following you because you're the realtor with the dogs, they're going to love it. They're going to be like, oh, I love this person because they've got these really, really great dogs. Oh, they also happen to sell real estate. Or they sell real estate and they just also happen to have the world's cutest dogs that I absolutely love. You are the brand. That image right here that you put forward, I had seen somebody in the past that always had a bow tie. That was his brand, the bow tie. Not the colors, not anything like that, just the bow tie. That's how you knew them. Other people's brands are maybe a hat that they wear. There was another one that is a golfer. Pick your brand, and it's free. It's literally free. So do not spend tens of thousands of dollars on your brand, and you can get a lot of good photos on your phone. Yeah, you can make mistakes all day long, and you can put this up and you can just have it go continuous and just photograph yourself, and there'll be one shot in there that you like. There'll be one out of probably 100, but you'll get one, and one's really all you need. So do not spend too much money on that. You're going to change it anyway. I can't tell you how many times I've changed my stuff because I just changed. And that was all money that was gone because I had branded. And your brand should be consistent. Yes, that should be consistent across your platform. So, like your bios, whether you're on social media, it should be like on all your social media channels. So, if you're saying that you're the number one luxury waterfront real estate agent, then I would expect to see that on TikTok and LinkedIn and Facebook. I don't want to see I'm the number one waterfront agent on this channel, and then over here I'm the number one condo person, and then over here I'm the number one land person. Like, who are you? Because if they're on multiple platforms and they see that they're not consistent and the photos aren't consistent, then that's not going to help your brand. And I'm fidgety because I am in the world's most uncomfortable chair. You'd think I would have replaced this. All right. So, yeah. What did you spend your money on? Drop it in the comments below. I would love to know when you started, where did you spend your money on that you wish you didn't? If you could get that money back because it was a bad idea or it didn't pay off, where was that? Because I definitely would love to hear that. All right. The next question that came up is, common money pits to avoid early on. Yes. This one, shiny object syndrome. I touched on that earlier. Real estate agents have shiny object syndrome. Somebody says, I've got a new CRM, or check out this magnet, or this is a new business card. Look at this. We are all like, that's going to make my life easier. That's going to get me 4 or 5 sales this year. We just want the get rich quick scheme. We just want to not have to work. That's what happens for most real estate agents. But you already know that that's not going to work. So you're not going to jump into the shiny object syndrome. That comes in the form of like websites. This website's guaranteed to get people to your site, and the systems in there will convert and you'll be closing an extra deal. This coaching program will guarantee you 2 extra deals a month. This social media plan that you're going to buy is going to guarantee you 1 extra deal a month, and it's only going to cost you the equivalent of 1 extra deal. So think about it. If you signed up for 4 programs in a month, you got your CRM, you got your branding, you got your social media, and then I can't even think of something else that you got. And every single one of them just cost you 1 sale. Well, you haven't even had 1 sale and you got 4 sales that you need to get, and that's not even to feed yourself yet. So do not fall into the shiny object syndrome. You don't need much to start. The next thing is, yes, buying leads too soon. Thank you. Everybody's got a lead system to sell you, and they vary. There are the ones that say, for $500 a month, we're going to get you 3 qualified leads a month. Qualified how? Like qualified that they're all going to be $1 million leads? Or qualified that they're all going to be closing in the next 30 days, or qualified that they're going to be pre-approved? Like, what does qualified mean? If I'm going to go with a lead source, I prefer to go based on referral. That way I only pay if it closes. And I do understand that that is heftier because they're doing all the upfront work and they don't know if you're a good closer, because now it depends on you. Are you a good closer? Do you follow up? Do you bring value? And so those tend to be a little bit more expensive, but I like that there's skin in the game. If they're going to give me crap lead, we're probably going to get crap results. But usually those companies will only want to work with proven agents that show that they can consistently close sales in the market. And many of those people will already do their research and they will reach out to the ones that they know are closing business. So I would not spend money buying leads. You have no control over the quality of the lead that comes in. You don't know if they're pre-approved. They might be reaching out to 10 people, and it's just a waste of your money, honestly. Now, if you have a different opinion from me, that you're like, no, I bought these leads and these are the Mac Daddy of all leads, please tell us. I've been in the business since 2009. I haven't heard of that company. I haven't heard of an agent that found the one company that they're buying leads from that are the end all be all. So I would be interested to see if you've got one. And then the next thing is Unnecessary tech. Oh, yeah. Yeah, paying for all the things you don't need. Again, you're going to sign up for software and programs that you don't need. And what do I mean by that? When I was learning how to do social media, there were people that were like, you need to get CapCut and you need to get DaVinci and you need Repurpose IO and you need InShot and and I'm in real estate, not software. All of those programs cost money. And all of a sudden, you have 10 different software or editing programs, or oh, don't forget, you got to get the royalty to music too. And then you got to get like Canva. That all costs money. Some of them are a little bit free, but when you want to get into it, it's not. And so all of a sudden, you have these tech tools, or we call them tech stack, and you're not even using all of them. So my accountant said, we're going to go through, she does an audit for me every year because I do like to sign up for it. I do have a little bit of shiny object syndrome. So I sign up for some free stuff or maybe like a trial period. And then she will run through and see what all my subscriptions are. And then we'll go through to see if I've actually used them. And if I'm not using them, then I have to discontinue them. Sometimes what I'll do to test is I will only go on the monthly program, because if I will not use, I know it's more expensive, but if I will not commit to using it monthly, and after 2 or 3 months, I see that I'm not logging in and I'm not using it for whatever reason. Maybe it's a great program, I'm just too busy, or it's extremely complicated and I can't learn it, or it's great, but I just don't have time to use it. So I will then go, you know what? I'm not utilizing this. So I'm going to go ahead and just cancel the subscription for now. And then I will just sign up later on. And sometimes I only sign up for a few months just to learn what it is and see if it's going to fit my needs. So if you're going to sign up for something and they have a monthly plan, even though I know it's more expensive, go with the monthly plan so that you can really, really test it and see you've made a commitment. So maybe for some of you, this might help. You know, when you go to the gym, they want you to sign up for that year membership and you wake up and you're like, I'm going to the gym for a full year. This is my year. And you sign up for the year membership because you are committed. And then like you're 2 weeks in and you never go back, but you got this year membership that's being drafted out of your account monthly. Yeah, it's kind of like that. So sign up for the month-to-month membership, pay a little bit more. And once you've proven to yourself that you're going to actually use it, then you can go ahead and commit. That is great. Thank you. Oh, yes. Premature hiring. Yes, we all need an assistant, right? Because our friends have an assistant and their lives are really, really easy. And I certainly understand that by the time you hire somebody, it's probably too late. And it's very difficult to hire because you are already behind and you're thinking, well, how am I going to train if I can't even keep up with what I've got? I hear you. I feel you. I know we've all been there, but it wouldn't even matter if you hired ahead of time and then they quit and now you've got to hire somebody new. I had a friend who got the person trained. They were ready to go because their business was booming and they needed the help. So they invested months into this person, got them trained, got them everywhere they needed them to be, and she left. And my friend was just in tears, was like, what a waste of time, and I hear you and I feel you. And I said, that's true. But at the same time, you built out the systems, you built out the processes, you know how to interview, you know how to train. This next one, you'll be much more aware of the questions that you want to ask, and the training should go faster. They went through the process again, found a person who has been with them, I don't know, probably 6, 7 years now. So even if you hire at the right time, people leave and you'll have to end up putting somebody in there. And guess what? It's never going to be at the best time. It's always going to be at the most inconvenient time. So don't get caught up that other people have assistants. You don't know what their financial situation is. Maybe they're barely struggling to pay them. Maybe they are really, really great. I don't know, but what they are doing doesn't matter. If you don't have the money in your paycheck to support that person's income, don't hire them and make sure that you can support them for a while, because you might say, okay, this month I have got a lot of closings coming up and I've got money to pay this person. What about next month and the month after that? Can you look down your pipeline and know that you have business coming up? And you might be saying to me, but Tammy, how am I going to know in 6 months and now if I've got business coming up? When you're a seasoned agent, you know you have business coming up. You're keeping in touch with your people. And so I know all of my sellers that are planning to sell between now and next year. We've already talked about it. I know they're selling because they're changing jobs, they're moving out of the area. Their kids are needing to go into a different school zone, that they have a sports activity that they have to be in. I am communicating with people that are moving to the area next year for jobs. So I know what business I'm going to have, and I know that I'm going to have money to support this person, because I got to support myself too, but I've also got to support them. So before you just start hiring people left and right that you can't afford, make sure that you've got business that takes care of you before you start taking care of somebody else, because that is a needless expense to have there just because you don't want to work. And at the beginning, you're going to work. That was a great question. Next thing is oh, that was good. Decision-making filters. How do I decide what I'm going to invest in? Will it help me now or will it help me in the future? That's what I need to know. Sometimes I need to invest into something because I need help today. Like, it's got to happen today. And some of it is going to be help that's going to be in the future. Um, if I'm looking for something today, let me give you an example. It might be that I've created a lot of content, but I don't have the ability to schedule it. So I might invest into a software that will allow me to schedule all of the content that I've got right now, and I can post it for the next 90 days. And so that would be a short, I need this right now. A long-term investment would be one of the ones that I just made was my YouTube channel for social media, where you guys are watching me. And I knew that by going into this was the long game. YouTube is not fast. I wish it was like, you post a video, you're viral tomorrow and everybody comes running at you. No, I listened to everybody before me. I did an extensive amount of research. A lot of people said, plan for a year, plan for 100 videos and a year. Can you survive doing that? So I was like, okay, well, what's it going to cost me per month? And for the year, what's the time commitment? Can I carve that out in my schedule? Will I carve that out in my schedule? And so I started with 3 months. I said, okay, that's the shortest amount of time I'm going to commit to. I'm going to do it for 3 months. I'm going to see if I can do this and if I'm going to be consistent. And after 3 months, I was like, okay, nothing happened, nothing, but except for me growing. And that's what I needed to do, was get to those 100 videos. So I did another 3 months. So now I'm 6 months in. I've spent a lot of money. Guess what's happened? Nothing. Nothing's happened. But that's what they said. They said, plan for a year, plan for 100 videos, because you need the experience and you need this exposure. And YouTube needs to find out what kind of content you're putting out there and put you in the right people. And they're not going to know that after 2 videos or 10 videos. And so I remember it was at 6 months, I called my coach and I was like, boo-hoo, this isn't fair. I'm working so hard. Nothing is happening. I had my little pity party, and they were like, suck it up, buttercup. This is the process. This is the long game. And 2 weeks later, it blew up. Now, I won't say I was lucky, because I did the work and I did the hard work, and I took my weekends when everyone else was playing, and I came into the office and I filmed 8 hours for 2 days in a row, and I wrote scripts, and I did all the work because this was my long game. Now, this isn't my forever game. This is the long game right now, and it's paying off. Now I'm coming up on a year, and the long game has paid off. I'm blessed to be overwhelmed. But that is where you decide, okay, my short game is I need to get the content out there for this type of social media, and I just need to get it scheduled very, very quickly. But then the long game was YouTube. So you need to look at the product and decide, are you going to commit to it? Are you going to be consistent? Maybe you're only going to sign up to do it for 3 months, and then you're going to reevaluate, and then you'll do it another 3 months. And so that's going to be how you're going to look at what you're going to spend before you spend the money. Okay. Oh, yes. I also look to see if there is a free or lower cost alternative. I am constantly getting on interviews with different programs and coaches or plans where I go and look to see, okay, what do you have? Who's got something similar? What do they charge? What do they offer? And I absolutely go in and find other people that are using that product, not just the ones they give you, because of course they're going to give you the great person, but I go in behind the scenes and I try to find anybody else that I can that's also using it and ask them what their experience is. And if they've left, why? And so I definitely look for free or lower cost alternatives. And then, oh, commissions. Commissions, yes, people get in trouble with the commissions. Um, First and foremost, IRS, they're real. They don't care, and they take their money seriously. So I started out with having multiple checking accounts, and I had my checks automatically split. I did not want to see and have to write the check over to another account because then I would just cry or probably not do it. So automatically, I put 20% of every commission check into the IRS account. That was just going to go there. I didn't want to know about it. I didn't want to see it, so that when the bill came, the money was there. After that, I paid myself first. Now, when I say pay yourself first, like you need to eat, like you need the basics. Paying yourself first is not going out to the bar every single night. Okay. Paying yourself first is not on the flashy branding and everything else I told you that was a waste of your money at the very beginning. Paying yourself first is like my living expenses that I absolutely needed to live to get by. And then the other thing that I did is I reinvested in myself. I took a portion of that money, and if I needed to buy signs or I needed to buy lock boxes, like needed to, if I could get something for free or borrow somebody else's, I absolutely would. But if I couldn't and I had to buy something, I went with the most inexpensive option that I could until I could get to a place where I had a lot more free breathing room in there. So I reinvested in my time of watching videos. So invest in yourself after you've taken care of the IRS and you have taken care of your basic living expenses. After that, then you can have some fun in there. Um, One of the things I did not skimp on, you're right, is professional photography for my listings. Listings aren't going to sell. So if they're not going to sell because you've got bad photography, you're just wasting your time. That time is what you're wasting right there, and time is money. So I would absolutely invest in good photography because I needed the listing to stand out as best it could online with all the other competition so that it had a possibility of getting sold. And there's so much more that goes into listings. We're not going to be able to capture it all here, but that's going to be a whole separate video. So I did invest into my business by making sure I had good listing photos in there. And so I'd love to hear from you when you got your first paycheck. What did you do with it? Did you just spend it all? Did you put that money aside for the IRS? Did you get your professional photos, or did you just blow it on drinking and celebrating? And that's another thing with commissions. I never count my money until it's physically in my hand. I don't care about the closing that's literally happening today at 3 o'clock, because I have seen buyers and sellers get up from the closing table and walk away. And you might have already spent that commission check because you're thinking, what could go wrong? The closing's in 15 minutes. It's going to be fine. No. Until that paperwork is signed and I physically picked up my check and deposited into my account is only when I count it. Until then, it's there and I'm working it, but I'm not spending it. Not at all. That's going to get you in a lot of trouble, especially for those of us that put them on their credit cards and they think, okay, I'll pay for it next month, and then next month comes and the closing never happened. Never put it back together. So please be very careful about that. If you've got questions, drop them in the chat, send them to me. And if I don't get them on this one, I will absolutely get them on the next one. And you guys have given me a great list of topics to talk about. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. And I look forward to talking about those with you. And if you've got any questions, comments, concerns, drop them in. Give me a call if you would rather be more private. I'm happy to take your calls with you and spend some time with you. All right. Thanks, guys. I will see you next week. Be sure to join me. All right. Bye.